Morality.
Tonight, we got a whole lot of pop culture to unpack, as well as a whole bunch of stuff to talk about in Starfleet Academy and Fallout, and the craziness going on in the world on the Entertainment Information Intelligence Podcast. And welcome to tonight's Entertainment Information Intelligence Podcast. I am Percival Dreadnought Petey York, joined by Pollo Zapatos, Corione Witch in Residence, and everybody else in the chat. Looks like we have Criffing DBK and everybody else slowly showing up and hopefully getting in and getting together to. Yeah, well, we're gonna discuss some pop culture. We're gonna discuss stuff going on in the entertainment world.
But let's start with TikTok and how the Ellison family might have broke a data center with their most recent code update to make it so that you can't talk about Epstein with your friends on TikTok, and you also can't post about ICE.
That's right. It has come out. Apparently, TikTok is testing a new shadow ban algorithm.
Censorship
algorithm. For those of you,
when America bought it from China, they promised to do their American censorship, not the Chinese censorship, right? Wait, I thought they said they were going to be different, not the exact fucking same. Shout out to the Ellison family, megalomaniacs, oligarchs. Let's go, new daddy.
Absolutely. Dahlia Lightwood in the chat says, hello all. Hello, Dahlia. Good to see you.
Hey, Dahlia.
Welcome to this evening's show. Before we get into the serious news, we do need to talk about the
other serious news.
Make sure that... All right, everything is not muted, so I don't know. Over the weekend, a man by the name of Alex Peretti was executed by federal officials. A lot of news came out about this man being a disruptor, a terrorist, whatever. A whole bunch of horrible,
Cunty gnome saying
huh?
about her.
Whole
Remember
bunch of
Cunty
just
gnome?
horrible things about this registered VA nurse, a real hero on the front
Really
lines.
the face of a monster we've got there, huh?
That is
Yeah.
clearly the unstoppable monster that we need to clearly be in fear of, that's disrupting organizations. Look, here's the thing. At the end of the day, how you decide to defend your community is your choice. And if you feel that the enforcers in your community are not behaving appropriately, you have every right to demand better enforcement, or for that enforcement to completely leave. Now, I know that some of you probably going to say, but the news, I don't care. The news is not what I followed. I don't watch CNN. I don't watch Fox News. I don't watch hardly any real, official legacy news source. I watch information. I watch videos. That's my source. Evidence. Hard facts. Things that my government is attempting to tell me not to believe because they fucked up. And instead of owning this failure, they are attempting to deflect it and convince me that this man is a terrorist.
Well, I think.
Oh, gee,
actually,
I'm an idiot.
No, I think they said, here, hold my gaslighter real quick.
Exactly.
You know,
This
we
man-
spent all this time learning about gaslighting, and literally one of the undersecretaries goes, "Don't gaslight me into believing in the Second Amendment."
Yeah.
What an idiot, dude.
A lot of people saying, "Oh, it's
Cunty
easy.
gnome-
It's easy to avoid this. Just don't go there." Okay, great. Glad to know that when the boot is on our necks, you're nowhere to be found. Thank you.
Yeah, that sounded a lot, that kind of comment where, just don't go where, there's difficulty or trouble or hardship or whatnot, really sounds like you're lubing yourself up for them.
Just yes, daddy, right in my
Every
mouth.
human has the sovereign right to protect themselves however they deem fit in any circumstance. The Second Amendment is not about an American right. It is a human right, a God-given right that the Founding Fathers wrote as a means for us to stand our ground and keep our elected officials accountable. And that is what it
Critical
is all
519,
about.
I really want you to just critically slob that knob as hard as you can.
What are you talking about?
We got a chatter that's saying, "Don't act violent and you won't get shot by the police because the government is always right every time. Kyle Rittenhouse should have gone to jail, and Waco, and
Ruby
Ruby
Ridge. And here's the one I want to talk about.
1776, the shot heard round the world.
What
That was
was
the
any
government
what was
acting
anyone's
wrong.
stance? And I want to ask this honestly to anyone watching and commenting. What was your stance on the 2014 Nevada standoff when Cliven Bundy had his cattle taken from him and murdered illegally? And he was entrapped with a whole bunch of court battles that he couldn't get to. And in the end, the BLM, Bureau of Land Management, not to be confused with the political movement that just happened to come up right away, soon after. The BLM was ordered to stand down by President Obama. Not a shot was fired. Not a single person was killed. Now, yes, did Ammon Bundy go and kill the credibility of whatever they were trying to stand for later in Oregon? Absolutely. That was another example of a bad standoff. That's an example where someone did get murdered by their government, but it wasn't murder. It was actually self-defense because they were behaving inappropriately. You know how many people rioted and went to jail over that? Nobody, because we all knew they had gone too far. Now, the boot's back on the other foot. The three-letter agencies are going too far. How am I supposed to identify somebody is a legitimate enforcer versus somebody pretending to be a murderer or a rapist, disguising themselves with a mask and gear that says police. You can buy this gear at any kind of military surplus store. It is just that easy. The protocols and
The G.I.
enforcement
Joe wannabes
have
want to
failed.
do everything except for follow the rules of engagement. And, you know, people like Critical 509, feel free to just slurp that knob as it comes down your throat and just pretend like you're doing God's work by never standing up for your right to legally bear arms. Because, you know, that was literally the entire point of the Second Amendment. But apparently, it
Ask
was only to
yourself,
go hunting, you know, because like that's what the liberals were saying when you shouldn't be allowed to own an AR-15, a weapon of war. But this G.I. Joe wannabe piece of dog trash shot somebody
they
9
disarmed
times
him.
after
They
disarming
shot him in the back. That is barbaric.
while he was being beaten by their G.I.
Beaten.
Joe wannabe buddies. There is no excuse.
And this is all video
10x
evidence.
Worse than George Floyd. And I know, Critical 509, you probably slobbed the freaking cock.
Stop with the cock jokes, John.
No, because it's what it is. You're metaphorically getting the
We get
government
it.
off. It's absolutely disgusting.
Yes, but you're not going to get
standing up
through
for
to the
government.
person by constantly insulting their responses. Instead, you should simply ask Critical 509, where do you live? Because if you live in Minneapolis, if you live in Minnesota, then it's a little bit of a different argument from your perspective because you have a bit more of a legitimate say. Me being in the state of Florida, I have no business deciding how Minnesotans defend themselves. My business is simply to remind people that every human has the sovereign right to stand their ground and protect themselves by any means they deem fit if they feel they are being threatened by anyone under any circumstance, period. The government does not have the right to put on a mask and come into your home and tell you to get on the ground and cooperate or they can kill you. That has never been legal. We literally fought a war over this in 1776. Maybe you all need to read up on it again.
In 1945.
And 1945, and of course in the Civil War, but that was a whole other problem of both. You want to talk about a war where both sides were not really looking out for the interests of the people? Yeah, look no further than, well, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What needs to happen
guys.
is they need to stand down. This is what would happen this is what government accountability, and as somebody who served and somebody who was in the federal government and participated following the rules of engagement, stopped thousands of pounds of cocaine while murdering exactly 0 people to do it. What needs to happen is a safety stand down and review of what happened and an investigation, and the government needs to stop coming out with these phrases. You don't want to know why people were able to trust the Obama administration? Because the Obama administration would say things like, this is an ongoing investigation, we will leave our comments as they are. We have a suspect in custody, we are checking to see, is this person affiliated with X, Y, or Z? This is an ongoing investigation, we are going to find out if they were affiliated with X, Y, and Z and get back onto you. They didn't allow narratives to spiral too far out of control. Unfortunately, they did use this to their advantage to put out other narratives to spiral in different ways. Operation Mockingbird does live on, and by no means was Obama perfect and without issue. Absolutely, there was failures in that administration that I can point to and remember. But again, how were some of those failures handled and what happened is the clear contrast that we are in right now. Corion, was there anything else you want to say?
Is never an excuse.
There's kind of a big piece I want to say, guys. I am an outsider to this. I have lived in the U.S., but I do not currently live in the U.S. I am in Canada, and I'm going to say this to you guys, and I hope this lands. For a very, very long time, your neighbors, your allies, your friends on the world stage have valued our good relations with the U.S. You guys were a little loud. You guys were a little, direct, but you were good friends and loyal and respected your allies like the brothers and sisters we all tried to be for each other. Very recently, the American ambassador decided that since Canada isn't buying the F-35, that it would be completely legal on their part that if there was ever a concern in Canadian airspace, that the US would violate Canadian sovereignty and send F-35s over our airspace to deal with it, because clearly we couldn't. Guys, your ambassador just suggested that they can fly warplanes into a sovereign country and do whatever the fuck they want, simply because we didn't spend $80 million.
Literally could have just said, hey guys, I have this bilateral agreement which we've literally established with other countries before. We're going to fly F-35s into your airspace when there's a legitimate threat, and in return, you guys can go bird watching in Idaho on Tuesdays, or something like that.
Or even just, guys, if there's ever a concern and you need our backup, we will be there for you.
Or we'd like, these lanes to be open between the U.S. and Alaska so we can get our equipment there without issue.
Right. Those sort of things.
Come on. Diplomacy 101.
Right. But this is your ambassador. This is who is talking to Canada on your behalf. Is this the message you want to send?
They don't respect the sovereignty of individuals. They don't respect the sovereignty of nations. I mean, it shouldn't be any surprise. So we're at a crossroads, people. We can decide if we want to keep playing the blame game, or if we want to realize that at this point, and I was on, I'll freely admit, I was on the MAGA train from 2016 till about 2023. When I committed to stop lying, when I committed to be this channel's honest, quality human content, it's certainly come with its tests of resolve and having to be straightforward. I started to notice that the politicians, whether they've got R's or D's next to their name, lie shamelessly. Sometimes the I's do too, but the I's do it a lot less. If you really are serious about a change in this country, vote for the people you believe in, and that's all there is to it. It doesn't matter what you guys, I care that you vote for people you trust, regardless of if they have R, D, I, C, A, whatever party. Don't vote for the party. They don't represent the platform. None of them do. Look at where we're at. Is what's going on in Minneapolis what anyone actually voted for? No. Censorship of the certain files? No. This is so far beyond what anyone wanted. Dahlia Lightwood says, I'm a woke liberal here. I didn't vote for any of this garbage. I think what's going on right now is barbaric and horrible. I do too, honestly. Like, this isn't what I voted for in 2020. This is not what I thought was being promised, and it's just terrible. So, but I can't go to Minnesota. It would be just as inappropriate for me to go there because it's not my affair. Just as it would be inappropriate for anyone from Minnesota or Pennsylvania or even Canada to come down to Key West without any invitation or request of aid. And that's where it's at. Doyle Levitt says, but truth be told, this is on every freaking media channel to the point politics have polluted everything. I need a break. That's why I watch sci-fi. And wish granted, we are now going to return to our regularly scheduled broadcast. It's hard to ignore certain things that could affect pop culture, especially if things do get bad to a point where production is halted again. And that is, honestly, we speak all this because we don't want these things to happen. And that's, at the end of the day, that's what it means for me to care about living people and creatures and beings, is we want all life to grow and to thrive and to have that opportunity. And so with that, let's get back to our pop culture. What did you guys think of let's give a little quick teaser to what did you guys think of Starfleet Academy's episode 3?
You know what? I'm going to say this. The thing that I begged after we watched the first 2 episodes was that they needed to do backstories of these characters early and quickly and make us care about them. And guess what? They did it.
Crazy.
I'm actually really happy that they listened and paid attention to that and decided, you know what, we need to make the people care about some of the people at these academies. I have a little bit of a concern that it feels weird that the War College and Starfleet Academy are sharing a campus somehow. But otherwise, I'm actually happy that we're getting backstories and character depth and plot. Yeah.
Dude, I just want to shout out last week's episode, which was apparently High School Musical Day. And I mean, episode 3 brought in the basketball.
Yep.
And the high school part of the academy.
Yeah.
Like, the backstories are nice. Getting to know there's 2 competing colleges that are actually competing as if they were 2 separate colleges, also very nice. But like, I said this on my 15-second review, and I was like, dude, this is the basic Star Trek in terms of like, the first season is always so awkward.
Yeah.
And also so is school. Like, your first year out of the family going to college is gonna be awkward. And the only things I did not like about this episode was the basketball. Like, Star Trek laser tag, that was perfect. Like, what else do you call a battle simulation other than paintball or laser tag?
Yep.
It was awesome. And it was hilarious. And not to mention, the biggest thing I've called for forever. Show me bad leadership getting trumped by good leadership.
Yep.
Yeah. Dahlia Lightwood says, as a fanfic writer, I suddenly feel way more confident. The writing in Starfleet Academy is a disaster. I mean, it's definitely far improved from Discovery. And I like it better than Strange New Worlds so far still, because it's so far removed from all the craziness. Some of the lines are cheesy, some of the prosthetics look silly, and dim lighting and dark color grading make it look really cheap. Yeah, it's got some of the old footprints of Discovery, but we're going to get into that in a bit.
Enterprise D had carpet.
It did.
Yeah.
It did. No, we're going to get back to it. We're going to come back to that after we get through some of our pop culture stuff. All right, real quick. The Simpsons 800 episode will star Noah Weil, Boys to Men, and Kevin Bacon. Simpsons has announced a star-studded cast for its landmark 800th episode, which is set to include Kevin Bacon, Noah Weil, Questlove, and Boys to Men. Quinta Brunson and Wiles the Pit co-stars Catherine Lanassa and Taylor Dearden will also feature in Irrational Treasure, an episode that sounds like a mashup of Best in Show and National Treasure. Well, that could be interesting, but man, 800 episodes. What?
Right? That's a hell of a run, man.
I mean, it's, cool, but man, how often do you guys watch those newer episodes of The Simpsons? Like, come on.
Oh, dude, super rarely. Like, I'm not saying that this is a thing, but you do have to give the Simpsons props for somehow getting to 800 episodes. Like, given that this was a series that everyone thought would maybe make a season, when it started, it's starting to get into like, like Doctor Who territory in terms of longevity. That's kind of impressive, at the very least, from that level.
Oh no, it's very impressive. I personally only show back up for the Treehouse of Horror episodes.
Same.
Yeah. Yep.
And I still love them.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, IGN, for that wonderful article. Turning now to The Hollywood Reporter, Kristen Ritter returns as Jessica Jones in Daredevil Born Again Season 2 trailer. We haven't watched the Daredevil Born Again Season 2 trailer. Let's watch the Daredevil Born Again Season 2 trailer.
That's kind of why I included this. I thought you guys might want to.
That's the guy from the movie.
I hope you can walk because I'm not carrying you.
Saw or shovel?
So I watched the Daredevil Born Again series. I was curious. I wanted to find out. And you know what? It was a fairly faithful continuation of the Netflix series. It felt natural the way they kind of positioned it inside the MCU as well. And the fact that they're going back to some of the street level heroes that we saw in the Netflix series, bringing them back in, completing their story arcs is kind of great. And probably, in my opinion, the best part of the Netflix series for me was Jessica Jones and her story. So getting to see her, the completion of her arc is something special to me. So I was really excited for this.
Yeah.
And
I'm gonna be honest, I didn't watch season 1, but now I kind of want to.
Yeah,
Just to be
I might
ready
have
for
to go
season
back.
2.
So
See, that trailer was
yeah,
exactly
it
what I
was
want in a
actually
trailer.
competent. Yeah, John, how's the vertical comments looking? I don't have mine pulled up, so.
Oh, they stopped.
Huh. Well, I guess somebody only
I
wanted
may
to
or
come
may
for
not
one
have
thing.
convinced
Weird.
somebody to get out of here.
Weird. Yeah, I guess it's funny how they just when we start the pop culture, it's like all people just want to come and shit their politics on pop culture streams. It's like, nope, we rarely, if ever, do it. And the only reason I did is because it's all human rights violations across the board, and that's just flat out unacceptable. But we've said what we needed to. And now back to the pop culture. How to Train Your Dragon 2 has officially started production.
Yeah,
All
so the live action version of How to Train Your Dragon 2 is being made. I thought this was interesting because the How to Train Your Dragon 1 live action made a hilarious amount of money, so we all figured this was going to happen.
Yeah.
But the fact that it's happening now this quickly,
Yeah.
like while the How to Train Your Dragon 1 toys are still on the shelves, is kind of impressive.
Yeah. No, Dahlia says, I'm still here. Yeah, no, we had a random Mockingbird in the vertical chat, so I think it was a rando. I don't know if it's one of our followers. It sounded like...
Oh, no, this is 100% rando. The whole 509 thing is that G.I. Joe wannabe company. That's why I got so frustrated. I was like, you
gotta say that if you're gonna like go into super dick joke mode and slob knob. I gotta know that if you're trolling a troll, that makes more sense, because if you're actually arguing with someone legit, that's why you want to be like, that's all.
Okay, so guys,
said, I'm talking to a friend.
Something kind of cool here, the How to Train Your Dragon 2. They're actually bringing in Cate Blanchett as the mom that he discovers in How to Train Your Dragon 2. So that's kind of cool, actually, because we haven't seen her in an action film in a minute, and it's kind of cool to see her here.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. Honestly, I'm really bummed. I tried to show my son the live action one, and he was like just a hair too young because he was like, this is boring. And I was like, it's literally dragons. How can you say that? And he's like, I want to watch Bluey.
Yeah. Dahlia Lightwood says,
I got an excuse to watch both.
Dahlia Lightwood says, I'm just here to shit on Starfleet Academy, not to Bluey. And we are going to get, well, Starfleet Academy is kind of political. We're going to get back to, oh, the music's way too loud. My bad. We're going to get back to the Starfleet Academy stuff here very soon. But first, I need to come up with an opening video to actually do this. Because it's, yeah, but yes. You are now entering a place that is not for the sane of mind or the critically thinking. A place where intelligence goes to die and reason commits suicide on a daily basis. You are entering the Stupid Sphere. All right, today's Stupid Sphere story. If you don't know any backstory, I'm going to be the one to unfortunately break it to you. Dr. Disrespect is probably one of the most desperate content creators out there, desperately trying to get his name unscrubbed from just
History.
bad behavior. For those who don't really know, he was caught in a situation where he was just
The Dateline would have
flirting
broadcast.
with a 17-year-old fan, and of course, by flirting, they were sending inappropriate, lewd jokes back and forth. Just stuff you should never do with somebody who's under the age of 18. I mean, any functional adult knows this. The real
Or
controversy...
19 in Canada. So.
Oh, really? Well, that's good to
Yeah.
know. Thank you. Shit.
All of a sudden, Petey is scrubbing chat history.
I didn't know 18 was not the legal age of consent in Canada. I guess good for you guys putting it up to 19, but yeah, to each country their own.
Yeah.
But anyway, Dr. Doucherespect, unfortunately, not fortunate, look, I can't say it's unfortunate because like Chevy Chase, he chooses to make his own dumb decisions. But in his case, he decided to come out and just, say, guys, I may have just been, some mild flirting with the minor, but it was non-sexual. Non-sexual? Like finger blasting's non-sexual? That's what flirting is for, Dr. Doucherespect. The only point of doing flirting is to flirt if you're going to do the things. There's no other way about it. That's why when people say they're naturally flirty, they're really just openly manipulative. Well,
I would prefer the term incredibly slutty for myself.
That's one way to do it. Well, in the effort to try and regain what no credibility he has, multiplying 0 with 0 again in a total zero maneuver, Dr. Doucherespect claimed to have had access to early access to High Guard. Now, what is High Guard?
Oh, dude, it's a new free-to-play by the Apex Legends guys, some of them, and
By all accounts, quite good according to what we've heard.
that is not what I have heard.
Okay, fair enough.
I heard it's off to a rocky start, but it is free-to-play, so rocky be rocky. I don't care. Like, I'm not gonna. If they charge $60 for it, I'd have a lot of negative things to say about it. But
Yeah.
if you're gonna come in free-to-play like Apex.
Yep.
Good luck to them. If they get good, I'll get good with them.
Creator Marco Highguard's Marco and Highguard's creator manager said that Dr. Doucherespect was not invited to the Highguard event and that the badge being shown is fake. What a loser! Like, holy crap, dude! Just, it's just a joke, guys. Just kidding, prank. So, why do we point this out? Being a small channel that we are, because we promise that, unless it happens, this is the kind of content we really promise not to bring you. That's not to say we won't screw with you from time to time, because we like to have fun that way, but this is just pretending to be invited to something. Look, I actually am, and actually was, a campaign beta tester for Halo Infinite, and I get to wear that with pride for the rest of my life. Oh, I want some fries that crack. But I actually did that. Not, post an AI picture of me developing Halo Infinite, and then, having Halo Studios call me out on Twitter in front of the world and say, no, you did not. Jesus Christ.
And dude, the worst part though is like, this is the most high school bullshit. Like, I did go to the concert that was 18 plus.
Yeah.
Behavior. Like the whole controversy not aside, what do you expect from a 35-year-old who flirts with a 17-year-old? Like, literally telling people he went to a show he didn't get invited to.
Right. You can't see other people posting images of me at it because, they live, up in Canada or something, right?
They used AI to digitally remove me from the event.
Yeah, because they knew I was under 18, but I'm so cool, so I got to go.
Yeah, they knew I needed to come back. They gave me a hand, guys. I'm making a comeback. Dr. Disrespect's coming back. No, I don't think so. No. America's Next Top Model America's Next Top Model winner Adrienne Curry criticizes Netflix's woke. Sorry, we promised Dahlia Light with no politics. Next.
Well, okay. So the only reason why I was bringing it up is because the documentary was going to be interesting.
Okay.
So, even if you're not a political person or into the politics, finding out about the machinations behind what was going on is interesting. So in that regard, this could be an interesting documentary worth checking.
Also, I love these documentaries. I find them extremely entertaining, so I'm gonna watch it for sure.
There you
But
go.
on top of that, like, I love the actresses that you can't judge the show's process by today's standards, and it's like that's kind of why the standards had to change, and also why the show got canceled. It's because their standard was subpar.
Yeah.
And we actually want to hold ourselves to a higher one. And for you to be like, you can't judge me by doing the things that I did to get to the top, because back in those days, everybody did them. And it's like, well, if we don't judge you now, who's going to judge the guys that do it to the next girls?
That's it.
Yep.
All right.
Who's going to prevent it?
Holly Hunter says Incredibles 3 should head to production soon.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I'm kind of looking forward to another Incredibles movie.
The second one was
Absolutely.
pretty, what's the word? The opposite of incredible?
I don't
The
know.
second one
I had
was
fun with it.
So funny. Are you kidding me, dude? When
No,
the dad,
I'm not.
when the dad has to be a stay-at-home dad in the 50s universe with
Right.
super children, like he's like, yeah, my wife is awesome. She's been a stay-at-home mom this whole time. And then for him to actually experience the chaos, he's like, oh, this is why dinner was always late. And I just thought the whole Jack experience was hilarious.
Yeah.
Helen Parr being a super sleuth, like, again, super fun because it really was just a flip-flop of the original movie. But like the third being like, okay, now the Incredibles are going to be the Incredibles family
Yeah.
Yeah.
would be amazing, because now it's like we got both sides of that coin. Let's play with a new one.
Yeah, like we understand why Mr. Incredible is, a hero. We now understand why Elastigirl is a hero. I'm actually really hoping that the third movie will actually focus more on the kids and their moment where they get to really, they've been heroic, but that moment where they really kind of shine on their own would be great.
Well, dude, I would be so down for the family dynamic. Like the
That
part
would
where
be good
dad
too.
has to be a dad while also on the battlefield because his kids are capable of participating in the battle, but at the same time, kids still need to learn how to be heroes.
Yeah.
And they have the best role models. So watching that struggle
Yeah, would be good.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dahlia Lightwood says, my standards are watching things that are entertaining and interesting with the stuff that helps me escape this abysmal world. I totally hear you there. All right,
Yeah.
turning now to IGN. Ubisoft developer hits back at online conspiracy theories, suggesting DEI to blame for company... yeah. All right, so next.
Oh, no.
Daily
This is actually
Wire's The
huge.
Pandergon
go
psychic...
back to that.
next.
Mostly because Ubisoft, it's not so much about the woke politics.
Oh boy.
Stream reconnecting, and it looks like we're back up.
Okay.
Nice. Okay, sorry about that, guys.
So, like, the reason I want to talk about the Ubisoft one is because I feel like it was something like 3 to 6 months ago. We were talking about the CEO bringing in his son because his son tried his way in the real world video games and flopped hard. And now the CEO did the craziest thing any CEO has ever done. He took a third pay cut.
Yeah.
Like,
Wow.
he legitimately was like, we have to figure out how to get money back. But here's the thing. He did it the wrong way. Because he cut all of the games all of the diehards have been waiting for. He cut Splinter Cell, he cut Sand of Time, and just a bunch of games. So, like, the cuts need to stop only if they are to like focus on actually developing a game, because the last quadruple A game they dropped sucked butt. But like when Game Pass got all of the Assassin's Creeds, how many people finally went back and played some of their old favorites again because they've been paying for Game Pass this whole time? I know I did. I loved going back to Assassin's Creed 1, 2, and 3, and Brotherhood, and going, oh yeah, this is what the graphics used to be like. And then when I flipped right back over to Shadows, I was like, man, when they can do a remaster for these, I'm so excited. And then I also went so far as I bought all of the Splinter Cell games. Like for the first time since I'm a kid, Xbox 360 days, buying Double Agent is the last one I bought. I bought every single one available for the first time in almost 20 years. And I'm like, gosh damn, dude, just give a studio a chance to remaster any of these gems and you'll see how much money can be made.
Yep.
Like, that's why I say we got to talk about the Ubisoft thing, because
Well,
the CEO
no,
is
I
clearly
appreciate you
doing
keeping
things
it away from
differently.
the political silliness and keeping it
Oh
on
no,
topic.
that was
and...
not silliness. They actually got rid of a bunch of sexual harassment. Apparently, it was like WoW level bad.
Yeah,
Good.
and you know
Good
what?
shout out
Thank
to
you
them
for
doing
no.
their
That's
job.
what we do here is we clarify, but we also
And-
try to tailor a show to our audience's preferences. So
And also, like, let's call a spade. Thank you, Ubisoft, for cleaning up your house.
yes,
You know,
way to
want
step
you to
up
produce. Yeah, we want you to produce good games, and we hope you keep. We hope you do it in the future.
and way to bring AAA expectations into the workplace when it comes to respecting the personal space and
And
comfort
CEO,
levels
way to
of
lead
your
from the
employees.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
You know.
Dahlia Lightwood says, I didn't think I'd enjoy the Minecraft movie, but I did. Yeah, alright. In that case, we'll come back to...
Let's.
Jason
hit
Momoa
this
offers
up.
an update on the status of a Minecraft movie sequel. Minecraft movie hit theaters in April of 25, and much like the game, it adapts, turned it into a monster crowd pleaser for audiences of all ages. At its core, the live-action adventure follows 4 misfits who are transported into the pixelated place known as Overworld, and find themselves racing to stop the Ender Dragon from destroying everything, leaning into blocky spectacle and slapstick comedy while nodding to familiar game mechanics. Well, that's pretty cool. So they got references and everything, but well,
So what did they say about number 2? Because like I listened to Jason Momoa on Theo Vaughn yesterday, and he just said that they were doing it.
Yeah.
He didn't
during
give
a
any,
recent
like, actual
appearance
good updates.
on the Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon, thank you for saving me having to watch Jimmy Fallon. He was asked about the follow-up, and Momoa did not hold back his enthusiasm. He explains, "Very soon, dude, bro. End of April. They're in it. The script is even better. It's so good. I was laughing out loud. I haven't laughed out loud in a very long time at a script. I was perplexed on the first..." Whoa, he said the word perplexed. I'm perplexed that
Right?
Jason Momoa knows how to say the word perplexed. On the script, this one, I'm laughing out loud. All right, well, that's pretty good.
You know what? That's great, man. I mean, if we're getting a funnier, better script for the second one, I'm digging it.
Dahlia Lightwood says,
well,
Super Mario
honestly,
Bros.
all I want more for Minecraft is more of the mechanics. There was not enough building. I honestly want to see some, like, there's so many sick gens that people have done. Like, people have built Disneyland. There's the hidden library that literally contains every single book possible, so that anybody who plays Minecraft has access to a server with a free library.
Yep.
Minecraft is a legendary game as a service, and I just want the second movie to be more of a movie that highlights the beauty of Minecraft.
Fair. All right. So, but I figure that's a good thing.
Sci-fi movie Matter of Time, starring Sean Astin and daughter Allie, lands February release. Oh, hey, there's a trailer. Let's watch the trailer.
Yeah. I thought you
Let
guys
us
might like a new
begin.
sci-fi piece.
I'm
Hey,
so
Gibbs.
happy to see him back.
Gibbs, what is this?
Don't touch it.
I told you not to touch it. The metal on the inside causes time displacement.
Time
Yeah,
displacement?
time displacement.
Growing up, it was always me, my friends, and video games. I knew I was meant to do this, but life has a way of throwing curveballs.
established deadline is 3 months.
We will have a first-person shooter, or all of you are fired!
I'm your guy, Miles. Time displacement. What does that mean?
From what I understand, it stops time. This metal confers great power, and with great power comes
Great responsibility.
rules.
Rules.
I have just seen so many people's lives ruined by this thing.
I think I can actually do this.
You couldn't get this done in a month. What is your secret?
You took our code and put it in your game.
You lose time every time you use it.
What is this place? I stole a nuclear-powered device that stops time.
What he wants is his advance back.
You are risking an awful lot for a video game. Good luck, Chuck.
Time was your enemy. But now, it's your best friend.
So you're telling me that you need more time?
Don't time shame me. A magic ring does not solve all your problems.
Really?
Speaking as somebody that owns several magic rings, I would like to say for the record, yeah, it does.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah. So it
You
kind
guys
of feels
remember
like
that one?
Clock Stoppers, but something totally new and original. Like honestly,
it.
I'm here for it. I like that. That was a good trailer. I think I'm gonna go. We're probably gonna have to review this for the channel. That just has like Writer Brothers plastered all over it.
Dude, I was exactly thinking of Clock Stoppers. I used to love that movie.
A fucking
and
great movie.
it was the same frustration that everybody that had from Back to the Future. Like, we're gonna make a movie about a time traveling scientist. What's he gonna do? Well, he's gonna try to prevent his wacky teenage friend from having sex with his mom. That doesn't make sense for a time movie. But like trying to finish a video
game. It's like
Right?
every developer stream.
right? And then from there, it's like, how much more fun can that be? Especially when you add in the stakes of the more you use it, the more time you mess up. And also, like, how much does IP really matter if somebody's cheating the rules and stealing IP from everybody else? Like, is it really your game if you stole from everyone else just because you could stop and read their code? And then again, it's like, how important are developers? All with the idea of time travel being a part of it, and I love that.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, honestly, look, I thought it was a hilarious concept, right? Like, how many devs talk about crunch and like they wish there was a way to avoid it, and like somebody was like, well, why don't we just get a time machine, right? Like, that to me sounds like a hilarious premise, and you know, something that feels very much like let's do a modern fun thing.
Yep. Greetings, Stephanie Janizek. Welcome to the show. Hope you enjoy. High likelihood the PS6 will launch after after 2028. For Sony is deciding to, it looks like, expand the life cycle of the PS5. The PS5 just barely launched, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, this is why I thought this was interesting, right? I mean, the PS5 had a launch that was plagued with people having an inability to get it.
Right.
So it makes logical sense for them to expand the life cycle of it so that, you know, they can actually get it into the market and people can play the games and enjoy them before putting a new one on the market and kind of cannibalizing their potential adoption of the PS5.
Well, I mean, 2028, that's pretty reasonable. You got 2 more years left with your so realistically, probably between PS5 players,
well,
you got about 10 years left.
Yeah, my guess would be, you know, 2029. They're going to start, and now like 2029. You know, Christmas is when they're going to start kind of making sure it gets out there in the market.
Yeah. You won't see the PS6 until 2029 at the earliest. Yeah, you're right. Well, that's good. And
even then, I think it'll be late 2029.
Yeah, these things are expensive. So, I mean, and you know, as a PC gamer myself, well, I do think if you're going to go big, go big. It's just...
The biggest thing with this is, like, PlayStation, if they do postpone until 2029, they just need to overhaul their marketing as the last console still consoling. Like there is the Nintendo Switch 2, and Nintendo is still working on more stuff. But then you've got like Xbox is like, you know, we're gonna focus mostly on the games as a service, games as a platform. Like we're gonna be a platform rather than a console, as far as we can tell. And it's not like the Series X is gonna be like overcast by anything because the RAM shortage. Not only the RAM shortage, but also like the price of the Series X just went up. The price of the PS5 just went up. And at the same time, the game output is not consistent. Like between the Xbox 360, Xbox One, and then the Series X, it felt like there were so many good games that could be so much better on the next console.
Yeah.
But like right now, it's like maybe one every 3 years needs an upgrade. And then the ones that like, I just bought GTA 5 again because it was on a pretty good deal. And when I say again, I mean again. I bought GTA 5 on the Xbox 360. I bought it on the Xbox One. I bought it on the Xbox Series X. I bought it on the PlayStation 4. And now I've bought it on Steam.
Oh,
and let's
finally.
not talk about how...
Finally, we can play together.
And let's not talk about how many times we've all bought Skyrim.
Haha, 0.
No, again as well. I bought that one on the 360, the Xbox One, and the Series X, and again on Steam.
H. Marie on the other hand. Yeah.
Guys, we actually have a really critical question from Stephanie Janisek in the chat. She's asking what system you guys would buy for a first-time gamer. Looking at a PS5.
Who you're buying it for. If it's for a child, yes, go with a console. And I recommend Xbox only because of the Game Pass. Game Pass has the largest library, continuously updating. They have the most like they have Ubisoft, they have Bethesda, they have Activision, and so you can get that new gamer the largest library. It's what my son gets to play my Series X.
Yeah, because all the PlayStation games
are
now going to be available on Xbox. It's just a matter if you want PlayStation games first or Xbox games first, because they'll be exclusive platforms for a few months, and then they cross-plat later.
But
yeah, here's what I would actually say. If you're buying for somebody that is new to gaming, I would actually recommend not the Switch 2, but the Switch 1. Because it's a very good entry system. And it's got games that'll appeal to a wide audience, let you figure out what kind of games you enjoy. And then once you know what kind of games you enjoy, we can do a better job of figuring out where the console for you is.
Yeah, I actually agree with that a lot because my son mostly plays the Switch. And it's because the parental locks on the Switch are phenomenal.
Yeah.
I just turned off chat once. Every game now says there's a parental lock on your chat. Yeah. And that's like the number one thing to be concerned about as a parent. But like, if your child is in the ages of between under 10, the Switch or the Xbox, because then you've got the most games available, especially on the Xbox. But then over 10, I recommend going towards PC. It took me almost 25 years to finally get my own PC. But if you build and buy your own PC, it's a one-time purchase. Then it's Steam, and Steam has the largest library. It jumps most of the gateways Parker was just talking about in terms of, like, are you going to be a console supporter? Like, are you going to be Xbox or are you going to be PlayStation? Because there are choices. Like, I don't get to play the new Death Stranding 2 until it shows up on Steam, but I got to play God of War, and I'm going to get to play God of War Ragnarok as soon as I feel like beating God of War 1, because Steam has both. And then from there, PC, because PC also has access to Game Pass. So I get all of the Game Pass games on top of it as well. So it's really more age dependent than it is, than it ever has been. And surprisingly, the controllers fit in all the kids' hands nowadays. So you're good if you go with Xbox or Switch. But Switch, has the best parental controls so far.
Yeah, Switch is definitely Switch has
Like
a
I
lot
said,
of the family friendly if it's younger, and if it's and it's also if the Nintendo games library makes sense to you. That's the one console that isn't cross-platting is Switch, which honestly it makes sense for Nintendo to keep their exclusivity. Plus, they're also the cheapest console you can get. Probably the most versatile console because you can plug it into the thing, or when you plug it into the dock, it transmits the signal to the TV. That's pretty neat.
But it's also a Game Boy on the road.
Right.
Huge W.
Yep.
Huge W. Like your phone
console
loses
is also
internet
your
and you
mobile
lose your
gaming
console.
system.
But on the Switch doesn't need internet except for when it does, and usually it's at home when it does. Like the only time you ever need to download a new game on the road is if you're actually trying, and my kid isn't, so it works.
Yeah, you know, I think it, you know, picking a console to sit down on in the console wars is a challenge. It always has been. You know, I have owned a couple of different consoles over the years. I've actually never owned an Xbox, but you know, I've owned PlayStation systems, I've owned Nintendo systems. I am definitely more of a PC guy. I've always enjoyed the experience more on PC, but honestly, the best thing to do is just play a bunch of different titles, especially stuff also that you don't initially think would necessarily be for you, because sometimes you get really surprised by what you're into.
And don't ever try to coach. It's just a waste of your time, and you're gonna get really angry going, no, let me show you, because then they always come up to you and say, can you help? And you want them to become independent. So the Switch is a great way to create that independence, because they're already holding it in their hands and it's too small to look over their shoulder.
There you go. All right.
Any further questions, please let us know. Godzilla Minus Zero will hit theaters on November 6th. And I know we've reported on this before, but it's Godzilla Minus Zero, so yeah.
And I, you know, never let it be said, guys, that I don't take care of you guys. I found an article with the trailer.
Oh, it's not letting me do the full screen. Oh well.
They are really going back to basics on this one.
So excited already.
That vaguely sounded like an apartment building.
I would have shit my pants if that was in the theater, because I almost shit my pants then. That is, oh my gosh, that is exactly like, okay, it's bad enough that Godzilla Minus One, let's watch that again.
You know what I love about it?
It's got, this is like the perfect...
It's the perfect trailer.
It's the perfect teaser trailer for exactly this movie. It's not grotesque. It's just so... He's growing back, guys. Which spoilers if you haven't seen Godzilla Minus One. If you haven't seen Godzilla Minus One, get your ass out from under the rock and go watch it now. It is the best Godzilla movie ever made. Even if you're not into monster movies.
I'm watching it in 2 years, so there's a little bit of a delay. And both drops still hit just as hard. Even though I already know exactly what you're talking about, despite all of pre-information, the way those footsteps hit, the way that drop, it's so terrifying and so Godzilla. Like,
Yep.
you don't need much, but that was the best part about -1. The sound balancing was horrific. It was so intense.
Yep.
Yeah, it was, and that's why I had to watch that again, because that's like it's along the same reasons as to why the Star Trek 2009 teaser trailer just slaps at the right moments. It's got the suspense and the it's got the setup and the build to a proper Godzilla movie. So yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah.
excited.
First look at the long-awaited K-pop Demon Hunters toy lines is finally here, so if you're like us grown-ass men and you enjoy K-pop Demon Hunters, you might enjoy their merchandise.
Well,
I'm
okay, so the reason why I wanted
myself, but...
Yeah.
Oh, wait, never mind. There, I figured out what I'm getting. The Uno pack.
So the reason why I brought it up is not necessarily because, you know, I'm like, ooh, K-pop Demon Hunters or anything. It's more about, we have been tracking the popularity of this
I'm getting the
series.
Monopoly game too.
Yeah, look, but we've been tracking the popularity of this and how it is becoming a phenomenon, whether we're particularly interested in it or not.
I am. And the writing was good. The sing-alongs, it was like, but if I can sit through a Bollywood, I can sit through this. But the story, the character, it objectively is good.
Dude,
That's
the
it.
music is objectively good. I listen to it with my son during drop-offs and pickups sometimes.
No,
still,
the music's
and
fine.
I
just,
along.
to me, that was the one thing that didn't quite, it made sense in the universe and the story. It's just, sometimes when the songs came in on the moments, I was like,
Dude, I'm a huge fan of musicals.
And I like
so
1776, so.
Well, I'm always going to be okay with musicals, but the part is like when you listen to the music, it feels like you're watching the movie.
No, wait, I take it back. There
So
are
I
a
get
couple.
all the hype.
There are a couple of the movements in 1776 where I'm like, all right, yeah, hit the shot glass a little hard, hit the peace pipe on that one. But then there's other movements that are just phenomenal. And then the movie itself is just, hey guys, I think we should watch 1776 again this year.
All right. Well, the idea was, what I wanted to show is that they have reached the point where the merchandising is going to make this an even larger phenomenon than it has been previously.
Yeah.
And, you know, they're marketing this in the very right way. Guys, I hate to say this because, you know, like I'm still always going to be a Star Wars guy and what have you. But this is going to be our, you know, the younger generation's Star Wars. This
in
is
a lot of
be
ways, yes, I completely agree. Much to Stephanie Janisek's dismay, K-pop Demon Hunters is going to be a part of pop culture for probably the next 80 years. Not
all
even...
I ask is, did you watch it?
Yes.
And did you watch it with the, not you, Stephanie Janisek's, did
Oh.
you watch it? And did you watch it with a kid or nephew or niece that loved it? Because if you're just watching their face, like, one of the things, my son started playing Halo, so now his Halloween character is going to be a Spartan.
Yes!
For a couple
this is
months
the
there,
best moment of
he was
podcasting right here for
legitimately
me.
saying, I can't wait to be one of the Huntrix. And
there you go.
It's a huge achievement for a show to cross the gender lines of very young kids and being like, no, those are actual heroes.
Okay, I don't mind if he wants to.
The movie.
He's still doing Master Chief though, right?
I don't know. He found a Halo anthology book, so he's looking more at the Reach characters.
Oh, okay.
They have the more kitted out.
All right. I don't mind him being a Huntrix, as long as he's still a Spartan.
Because
I can deal. I can live with that in the family.
No, dude. What if he's a hunter? That would be a sick ass Halloween costume. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, K-pop demon Spartan demon hunter.
No. If he was a Halo hunter,
a Mjolnir armor combined with the K-pop aesthetic is something that I think is worth doing for Halloween. Absolutely.
That's actually pretty sick too. No, but like he just more than anything, he watched a show about heroes being heroic, and he immediately was like, I want to be that.
Right.
And when I go in to watch the show, I'm like, yeah, that was me with Spider-Man. That was me with Iron Man. That was me with Halo. Like, heroes being heroic should always hit that bone for the kid that, you know what, I want to be that hero. And K-pop did that. So that's why I say watch it with the kids and watch them love the heroes for heroes' sake. And then you as an adult judging it like, oh, this is a good hero film. Like,
right.
Yeah.
There's so much bad in terms of modern hero movie.
Yeah. All right. We only got 2 more pop culture stories to cover, and then we can talk about Starfleet Academy and then Fallout. All right. Star Wars Starfighter has classic elements, but no legacy killer characters. Dahlia Lightwood, are you still listening? Did you hear that just now? Starfighter has classic elements, but no legacy characters. So in a complete departure from Kathleen Kennedy's Star Wars altogether, as well as a complete departure from Kurtzman Trek. They're not directly related, but I'm just making the point that they're not relying on legacy characters the way Kurtzman Trek is still relying on legacy characters. So, this is like everything Dahlia Lightwood's been freaking about wanting originality, everything we've been freaking about wanting originality, there it is. While The Mandalorian and Grogu is the big return for Star Wars on the big screen, it seems like people are way more excited about Star Wars Starfighter. Maybe it's because Mando is the culmination of a TV show ending, and those still feel lesser to people for some reason. But despite one coming out before the other, the hype levels are distinctive. Starfighter wrapped recently, so they are now in post-production, and while people aren't saying much, we are starting to learn a little more each day. Writer Jonathan Tropper recently spoke to Screen Rant and briefly discussed the lightsaber fight Tom Cruise helped film, and how the film will feature many of the classic hallmarks of a Star Wars film, but none of the legacy characters. Well, this is the one I am way more excited for than Mandalorian. And of course, I think this week we'll be doing our, Kathleen Kennedy's going away party / start of our Star Wars revival. Yeah, so because it's Mando, right, we already read that. But yeah, this is the one that I am most excited for. What about you, Corion?
I'm a little more interested in the Mando, I'm not gonna lie.
Oh.
But I do think that them coming up and, straight up saying, no, guys, look, we're going to focus on just telling a good story in the Star Wars universe.
Exactly.
And leaving it at that is a win for the fans.
Yeah. Dahlia Lightwood says, I'm more excited for season 2 of Ahsoka than I am about the new Mando and Grogu movie. Yeah, same. Yes, I agree. Originality is great. I'm cool with no legacy characters as long as it's something entertaining. Exactly. All new stories, which should be should be good.
Like, don't get me wrong. I would absolutely love to have had Han, Luke, and Leia get a proper send off. In the sequels or even, in a do-over / makeup exam for the sequels. But if you're coming out straight up and saying, like, no, look, we're going to tell a unique story here, then that's good. The one we recently had the series with the kid Skeleton Crew. Listen, it didn't really dive into any sort of legacy stuff, and it felt very Star Wars.
Yeah, it was a good attempt.
And you know what? If that's kind of the basic proof of concept of what they're trying to do here, I'm down for it.
Dude, seriously, and before I run real quick, I just want to say I'm so excited that they're not doing legacy characters, because the amount of time that would waste on everybody like trying to justify why it's okay, skipping past it all and just going, we know what you want. It's kind of a little bit more Han Solo than it is Obi-Wan Kenobi, and also not either of those things. Like, that's what I am personally the most excited for, is because there's so many Star Wars Clone Wars episodes and so many Star Wars video games that are just amazing in terms of like, I get to feel like I'm in the galaxy far, far away, and they don't need all that extra fill. And so for somebody to actually write that and go, watch this, yes, I will. But I gotta run. Put the boys down. I love you.
All right. Take care, brother.
All right, and Dahlia Lightwood says, and yeah, Pedro Pascal oversaturation has kind of put a damper on the Mando Grogu buzz. I completely agree with you there. It's going to take a lot of marketing and hype to get people excited for Star Wars, and starting next month, beginning our 5th year, we're actually going to be making an effort to do our part to see if we can love Star Wars again. We're going to start with our KK going away party, let anyone come in and do their last, airing of grievances about Kathleen Kennedy's regime at Lucasfilm. And then we're going to begin our march of going back through the original trilogy, followed by the prequel trilogy. And then we're going to watch, we might try to get through the Andor trilogy again. We might just have to settle with just Solo or Kenobi. We will see. But we're going to start by going right back to the very beginning, the classic, the old-timey Star Wars, if you will. I might write my own version of that song just, well, because I can, but also because that's certain someone's still welcome here anytime. The Prophet, a pastor turns to witchcraft and cinematic meditation on doubt, darkness, and shiny objects. Done. Oh wait, probably.
So I thought this was a
January
kind of cool
30th.
idea, right?
Shit. What? Are we reviewing next week? I mean, we're not supposed to have a podcast next week, but I might feel like we might have a podcast anyway. Probably be an optional podcast, what I'll start calling them. Because this drops in 3 days. And, yeah. Well, I'm going to read a little bit about... Actually, do we have a trailer for this? Or... No?
I don't believe we do.
Look like it. So, I mean, the title alone already has my interest. It sounds like it's what... Obviously, you have something to say about it, so go right ahead.
Well, I mean, I think this is kind of a cool idea, right? We get a person who wants to get more people into his mission and turns to the dark arts to do it and opens a door he can't quite close because, lack of knowledge on how to do it. And that feels like a very much a be careful what you wish for kind of story.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of cool to show, and they figured out an interesting way to do it. This does look like a very art film.
Yeah.
But I think this is, if you're willing to give an art film a try, this might be one that could interest you.
Yeah.
Right?
The film's protagonist may be a pastor, but his journey will feel recognizable, even familiar to audiences, given mankind's search for more and better things. He opens this door to get what he wants, but he doesn't know what he is going to get in exchange, highlighted the writer-director. So be careful with the doors you open, because you don't know what's in or behind them. It's a very human thing. There's always a door that we could open, and maybe there's a bunch of rewards, but we don't know what we'd be given in exchange. In the case of this movie, it's a spiritual door.
Yeah.
Langa's choice to keep the film in black and white was clear to him. Okay, yeah. No, it's definitely an art film, but it certainly explores a very controversial topic of Christians meddling in witchcraft, which, unfortunately, due to certain translations of the Bible, is considered heresy, but actual translations directly have it more along the lines of necromancy, but then there's that whole Lazarus thing. So I think it's really worth checking out for those reasons. It seems like it's a very human experience that anyone can relate to. And I mean, if we have a witch promoting it, it's probably going to be decent, I would imagine.
Well, I mean, witchcraft is definitely portrayed here in a way that I can respect.
Okay.
That it's not the religion, it's more the concept of, guys, you have to look with any thing that potentially has power attached to it.
Yeah.
You have to respect that power or you will get screwed by it. Right?
Yep.
So I kind of think this is going to be fun. I think, it's looking at kind of the African witchcraft side of things, which is kind of cool.
It's International Film Festival Rotterdam, so It's probably going to be a little... Hopefully it'll carry some legs and we can get either a theatrical release or it'll be streaming soon. So it won't be out... We don't know when we'll be getting a worldwide release, but we'll keep an eye out for that one.
That's it. All right, man.
Turning now to the most reliable of sources, Reddit.com. The new Fable gameplay has come out.
Oh boy.
Oh, you're scared?
I'm horrified. I heard you're not going to be able to get the dog, so I'm kind of, but we'll see.
Hi, welcome to Playground Games, where I'm thrilled to share our very first deep dive into a game we've been making here for a really, really long time. Fable. Playground Games is renowned for fun, immersive, and visually stunning open-world experiences. Since 2010, we've been developing the Forza Horizon series right here in Royal Leamington Spa, a charming little town in the middle of England. As Horizon has grown, so have
you begin the game as a that in a moment of extreme danger, your heroic powers first emerge, and we discover that you are Albion's first hero in a generation. But not long afterwards, disaster strikes, and the people of your village, including your beloved grandma, are turned to stone by a mysterious stranger. Suddenly alone in the world, you'll set off on an adventure which will change Albion forever.
venturing out into the world is a huge moment, because this is Albion like you've never seen it before. Idyllic rolling hills, magical forests, bustling villages, sleepy hamlets, oversized vegetable patches, and stunning vistas. And because our Albion is truly open world, for the first time, you'll be able to explore this rich and detailed world seamlessly, with the freedom to go where you want from early in the game.
We can't wait to welcome you back to Albion's iconic capital city, Bowerstone. Home to Fairfax Castle, the Old Clock Tower, and the legendary Heroes Guild.
It's a huge city, full of contrasts. Rich and poor, nobles and commoners, royalty and criminals. You'll spend plenty of time here during the game, as you discover the secrets of the Heroes Guild and its reclusive guildmaster, Humphrey the Golden.
In the north of Albion, you'll find mountains, craggy coastlines, spooky marshes, and the bleak, windswept city of Bloodstone. Here, you'll meet the leaders of two rival gangs, vying for power, and uncover the secrets of the sinister but extremely well-organized Cult of Shadows. Our Albion is beautiful, handcrafted, and richly detailed.
In Albion, heroes are special, different. They're stronger than regular people. They're more skillful, more charismatic. More importantly, they're those rare humans who can harness and use magic in the world around them. They have the power to do what they want.
And so do you. In our game, we want you to play as the hero you want to be. And that starts with being able to choose how your hero character looks.
So, in Fable, you'll be able to pick from a range of different character heads and customize your clothing, hair, skin tone, tattoos, and scars, so the hero you play represents you.
But as well as your appearance, you can be the hero you want to be through the way you play, through the skills and abilities you learn, and through the weapons you use.
Just like the classic trilogy, heroes in our game fight with a combination of strength, skill, and will. Seamlessly blending melee and ranged weapons with magical abilities gives us style-weaving combat. Allowing you
really
to
love
show
being
off
able
your
to
personal
turn people
playstyle
into chickens and kick them.
against single opponents and large groups of enemies alike.
Nice.
Melee is at the heart of our close quarters combat. You'll use light and heavy combos, often knocking enemies off balance and executing stylish finishers. Swap to your ranged weapon to bypass enemy guard and deal with troublesome flying enemies.
Hey, Donnie.
And of course, you'll be able to unleash your powerful spells to both manipulate and devastate your opponents.
We're excited to be bringing back some fan-favorite adversaries for you to fight. Hobbs are back, as are Balverines, Hollowfolk, and Trolls.
And we're adding brand new enemies too, like this fearsome cockatrice, a giant fire-breathing chicken.
Yeah,
Nice.
so I'm gonna have a game save that just is this moment here, because this, for a lot of people who live here in Key West, this is therapy. Being able to kill a giant chicken.
Each enemy family is different, with their own weaknesses to exploit and defenses to overcome. But with all the unique tools in your combat toolbox, how you defeat your enemies is up to you.
All right, reload save. Do
But
that.
there's
8
more to being a
million more
hero in
times.
Albion than fighting. So much more. When we talk to people about their favorite memories of the original games, so many of their stories were about the stuff you can do when you weren't just being a hero. The normal, everyday stuff which happened when you interacted with the people of Albion.
For me, what I remember most vividly are the inhabitants of Albion, and the things you can do with them, or to them.
The crazy thing about the classic Fable games was that in the middle of a sprawling RPG was almost a complete other game, where you could just mess around with the villages and townsfolk.
And we've built that same experience in the middle of our game too. Buying a house, getting a job, making some money.
Romancing a villager, getting married.
Proto Badger, if
Having
you're
kids.
watching, you can be a
Fancy a date?
blacksmith in Fable.
Perfect. You can get to know me better.
Oh,
Buying another house. Buying every house in Albion.
why not?
Buying every
Yup.
business in Albion. Getting rich.
Marrying a bunch more people, having a bunch more kids, probably getting divorced
in the
along the way for
game.
good measure.
And this game within a game is unique to Fable. It's systemic, interconnected, and you'll see the ripple effects of the things you do everywhere you go.
And all of this revolves around the people who live in Albion, who we call the living population. There are more than 1,000 of them, and every single one is unique. Each of them has a name, a role, a daily routine, and their own personality. You could follow any one of them for a day and just watch them live their life.
They'll get up, go to work, spend some leisure time on hobbies, then go home to bed.
But what's even cooler is that you can talk to every single one of them in fully voiced conversations and interact with them in loads of different ways. Maybe the job they go to is working for you because you hired them to work in one of your businesses.
Hey, you. Working hard? How can I help you, boss?
Maybe the bed they sleep in is in a house you own because you're the landlord.
Or maybe their bed is on the street because you evicted them.
All right.
Oh, it's you. You're awful.
Pay your damn
And
rent,
all of the stuff
scumbag.
you do affects what they think of you.
You're a legend.
Because everything you do
That's
builds your
correct.
reputation.
Very impressive. Now that's an hero right there.
Morality has always been super important to Fable. That tension between good and evil underpinned all of the original games. And morality is central to our game too. But we have a slightly different take on it.
For us, morality isn't black and white. There are lots of grey areas. And importantly, morality is subjective. No two people see things exactly the same way. And that's how it works in our game too.
Everything you do earns you a reputation. And every person in Albion will have a different reaction to you as a result.
Hello there.
Yeah, we get it. You're rich.
They'll remember things you did directly to them, they'll love you or hate you for the choices you make, and they will always tell you why. Although, usually from a safe
So
distance.
it's social
Our game will
media,
never
the
judge
video
you.
game.
But the people of Albion
Yeah.
will, loudly.
They will always tell you why. Oh, it's like every character is my grandma now.
Your reputation is created by the choices you make, and you are going to make a lot of them. Big
Yeah, watch me
choices,
make no
little
choices at all.
moral
That's still a
choices,
choice.
and some choices that will actually change the landscape of Albion for the
Yeah,
rest
Proto
of
Badger
your
says,
game.
"Greetings all." Oh,
We
dude,
call
you missed
this
it
idea,
earlier.
Your choices change the world.
We're watching
Let's give you an example.
the gameplay reveal
Early in the
trailer
game,
for
you'll meet a
Fable.
character named Dave, an egotistical gardener in a rural village who discovers a magical growth formula. He accidentally turns himself into a giant and becomes a big problem. It'll be your job to deal with him, and ultimately it will be your choice whether to kill him or to spare him. If you kill him, his giant corpse will lie on the farmland just outside of town for the rest of the game.
And that is going to affect house prices. It will also affect what a lot of the villagers think about you.
Especially Dave's sister.
In Fable, the choices you make will define you. What does being a hero mean to you?
At Playground Games, we've built a pedigree for beautiful, immersive, open-world experiences. Yes, they've typically involved sports cars, but this is a passion project for all of us here. Every member of this team, which we've built from scratch, has two key things in common: a deep love for the franchise and a burning desire to bring it back. We're making this for Fable fans just like us, but also to introduce Fable to gamers who've never played the series before. It's been great to finally tell you a little about the game we're making. There'll be much more to share as we get closer to our launch. I'm excited to tell you today that Fable is coming to Xbox, PC, and PlayStation in autumn 2026. From all of us here, thanks for watching.
Not a coming soon, not a delay of game, not a, oh, we're only gonna give this to just a few, to PS5 and frickin' Xbox first. Looking at you, GTA 7, which is being rumored, or GTA 7, GTA 6, which is now being rumored to be delayed until 2027. Already! We haven't even gotten to the frickin' original release date of May of 26, which is supposed to be this year. We're not even getting to the first delay of game. Now we're going to get to the next delay of game, and it's still in January. Yeah, okay. All right. Let's talk about the Star Treks. If you follow this channel, you know that we watch Star Trek. And, you know, Starfleet Academy, thanks to Pollo Zapatos, will be no exception because he really wanted us to review it and is regretting that choice. Oh well. We're locked in for at least this season. We'll see how the rest of it goes.
Yeah.
But yeah. So, in this week's episode, we got more college shenanigans and a bit more of the Star Trek 90210 feel. Some people...
I mean, there is more to it, though, as well.
I mean, it's not without its, faults. It's just... Well, why don't you go ahead? Actually, do we have the summary for this week's episode, or do you want to try to summarize just off the top of your head?
Why don't we get a professional summary, because I think I'm not going to hit all the points, but let me see what I can get here for a summary.
Because I wanted to grab... this right here. There we go. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean...
I kind of like Holly Hunter's character and how obstinate she is about the rules and that she's been alive for a long time. But oh man, did this episode in particular just have to put emphasis on the damn feet. Feet Trek. Starfleet Academy is...
Starfleet Academy. That is a good name, sir. I like that.
Yeah, that's the that's what this week's episode was really about. It was Star Trek 90210 meets Starfleet Academy meets... Anyway. Dahlia Lightwood says that's more like Starfleet Kindergarten. Exactly.
Well, okay, guys, let's be fair. One of the things that we did ask for the series to go forward is to give us backgrounds on the major players, like the ensemble cast. And they are starting to do that. So that is a good thing that they actually started doing it. Framing it in a prank war, also, hey man, we've all gone to colleges and whatnot. Pranks definitely do happen. Now, having two academies seemingly on the same campus seems a little odd to me, but admittedly, we had, Captain Frizzle here. do her Captain Frizzle thing, which was try to make these kids think for a little bit, which was all right. We had the romance shenanigans that we kind of expected to happen. All in all, it wasn't, when you start actually taking it apart, like, the writing is definitely for a much younger Zoomery generation than us, but the actual plot points were not terrible.
Yeah. Dolly Lightwood says, I'm torn. On the one hand, it has some laughs. On the other hand, it is really cheesy, and I don't like the muted colors and dim lighting. Pollo Zapato says, cheesy is acceptable when it's about school. It was another high school Discovery, or Picard tries his hand at the Rogue playthrough. Yeah. It just, it's... I'm kind of there with you, Dahlia. I can't quite recommend this show after the 3-episode rule. After 3 episodes, would I be like, yeah, I'm all about this? I'm not really ready to rewatch it yet either. The first 2 episodes were okay. They were way better than the first 2 episodes of Star Trek Discovery. But this show is definitely...
when you take a look at... Yeah, when you take a look at the first 3 episodes of most Trek series, they're not awesome.
Yeah,
so
Encounter at Farpoint 1 and 2, and then we had Naked Now in TNG for season 1.
Right.
Freaking TOS had like 2 pilots, and one of them was alright. The other got retooled into a 2-parter anyway, so does that one really count? No. And then we had, eventually, we got to Naked Time, which is just...
Yeah.
Oh my god, I don't know how... you want to talk about cheese, start rewatching the original series, because I get that it's a product of its time. They also...
Yeah.
They did some shit. Cheesy shit. I want to get a nice cheese pizza to celebrate it. Pollo says, the battle sim was picture perfect, literally exactly what I asked for before watching episode 1 and 2. So it was...
So there you go.
Yeah.
There are moments in this, I'm not going to say of greatness, I'm going to say of competency, that I'm hoping they carry forward.
Yeah. Dolly Lightwood says, I wanted to know more about the half-black, half-white Charon chick. That was a tribute to Let That Be Your Last Battlefield from TOS.
Yeah.
That's correct.
There's a bunch of Orions there. That's interesting.
Yep.
The Ferengi look like they got a glam up in a couple of the images. That's interesting. There is a cast here that does not look terrible.
Exactly.
I want to learn more about them, and I'm hoping they expand out the ensemble so that we get to the point where we can have backstory on some of the Academy kids that gives us more to work with. Right?
Yeah.
I'm still down for, I want to see more. I don't know if it's going to be good but...
I'm not hating this show. I am not miserable like I was by, episode 4 or 5 of Star Trek Picard Season 1. Picard Season 1 was just...
Oh,
man, that was some of the worst Star Trek that ever made it to screen. And then I heard nothing but awful things about Season 2, which I thankfully didn't watch. Love Season 3. Season 3 is amazing. Season 3 is the TNG, reunion special that we freaking should have gotten from the first time, but whatever. We had to do our, oh, it's gonna be such a different Star Trek, guys, but it's the same guy, but it was not, it was barely... Enterprise came off more Star Trek, and Enterprise was trying to be kind of the cool new modern Star Trek without being Star Trek, but then it just was...
it missed the mark.
Yeah. Dolly Lightwood says, I never liked the Ferengi, so I hope they don't have any main plots about them. Oh, that's too bad, because they're some of the best characters in Star Trek Deep Space Nine. Some of the best character development. And yeah, progressive attitudes. Or, well, at least evolving progressive attitudes and showing that, yeah, societies can change.
Yeah. And, also, like, an interesting opportunity to critique capitalism.
Right. And they do it in a way that it's not completely, it doesn't discredit the Ferengi approach to it, because Quark does make the argument of yeah, our system may seem barbaric in that it's a cutthroat economy, but we've never had the kinds of wars and slaughter that you people engaged in. And so it's like, say what you will about our system, but at least it's kept us from, being murderous. And it's like,
yeah, there are interesting discussions to be had. And
DS9 does a lot of good head scratching, and it also it does a lot to take Roddenberry's vision and properly unpack it so that you can figure out how it makes sense to, oh yes, even when things are not Roddenberry Trek, like shit, maybe they kind of are right now, we still hold ourselves to that standard of the tolerance, the respect, and that's
honestly, like I said, I'm at the point where I want to see more.
I think it can improve, and we will see what happens, and that's all we can do is keep watching the show this week. All right, well, I think that concludes our Star Trek discussion, unless anybody else has any more thoughts. Dahlia Lightwood seems to, like I said, she's not turned off by it totally either. It is funny for its moments.
It's occupying a weird space right now where it's like, I don't think I like it, but I don't hate it either.
I don't have enough information to say that it's, the worst as Trek ever. No. Is it the best as Trek ever? It is so far removed from the rest of Star Trek that it's just going to be its own thing, which is what it should have been from the start, and more people would have probably been okay with it, but because they wanted to make it tie into legacy characters, and, well, it's still tied into legacy characters, but it's tied into legacy characters in ways that make sense. The Doctor's Holo program being around, and him deciding after, 800 years to put an age algorithm into it so that he can eventually die, it kind of makes sense. They're actually trying to be a decent show, to be a new show, to actually be Star Trek.
And I also found it rather amusing that, he doesn't relate to this younger photonic life form.
Yeah.
That's kind of awesome.
That was
right?
funny.
Exactly.
Like,
it really feels like the Doctor's is in a mood of kids these days.
Yeah.
Right? And that's perfect for him.
Yeah. Pollo Zapatos in the chat says the romance is young love, not Captain overcoming their fear of feelings while also never struggling. Exactly.
Yeah, look, I don't have a problem with it.
Dahlia says Starfleet Academy is more entertaining than the Acolyte, and I will say that Starfleet Academy is more Star Trek than the Acolyte is Star Wars. I will say that as well.
I'd die on that hill too.
Yeah, Acolyte just crashed and burned. Yeah, Starfleet Academy has yet to crash and burn. It could still happen. The show can still very much disappoint me. Don't hold your breath. It still has that chance to be Kurtzman. Well, it is still Kurtzman Trek, but it's being more with the Roddenberry approach of, oh yeah, these people here and exist and they want to be identified as that.
You know what? I think it's safe to say that our assessment of the show is it hasn't insulted Trek yet.
Not. I don't know.
I don't know if it's earned my trust yet, but it hasn't
pissed me off.
It hasn't broken my trust yet.
Right.
So
Dahlia Lightwood says Ironheart was one of the worst disasters. I really wanted to like that show because I love Iron Man, but Ironheart was an awful character. I'll have to just take your word for it because I watch it.
Honestly, they knew going into that show that the comics involving Ironheart made no money. So the decision to do this, confounded Marvel fans across the freaking globe. You're not alone on that one.
Yeah.
So, all right, man. So we good now?
Turning now to one of the greatest shows ever made, Fallout. Episode 6, The Other Player, because Episode 7 has already dropped and is live to go watch if you wish. In 2077, Cooper confronts Barb about Vault-Tec's plans. Barb reveals she is shielding their family from the inevitable nuclear war by playing the part, only sharing the idea of dropping the bombs first after it was suggested by Dr. Wildsig. Later, Cooper drugs Hank and Barb extracts the cold fusion relic from him. In 2296 2296, Woody goes missing in Vault 32, while Chet finds out he's officially getting married with Steph. In Vault 33, a defiant Reg stands up to Betty before she shuts down his club. Meanwhile, Lucy wakes up at the secret Vault Tech facility where she learns Hank has been kidnapping Wastelanders and brainwashing them to build more control chips. She apprehends Hank, intending to take him back to Vault 33 and face justice for destroying Shady Sands, but he tricks her into brainwashing two rival Wastelanders. The Ghoul is freed from the pull by a super mutant, saving him from going feral. He attempts to recruit him for an upcoming war with the Enclave, the true instigator behind the nuclear war, but the Ghoul declines. Afterwards, Dogmeat leads Maximus and Thaddeus to find the Ghoul. I still have not played a single second of Fallout yet. I want to eventually get around to do New Vegas, but I absolutely love this show. It is one of the best. It is absolutely a well put together, and according to a lot of the gamers, it is respectful of the universe's atmosphere, it is not trying to hijack it to platform into anything preachy. It's simply these characters surviving in a now like twice ridden post-apocalyptic wasteland that is built on a beloved game franchise.
It honestly feels like a natural continuation of the story the Fallout franchise has been telling. And that feels really good.
Yeah,
right?
Fallout sounds decent. I'm not especially into post-apocalyptic sci-fi, but it's got a fair amount of horror. I'll consider watching it. Yes, I will want... like I said, not having any, and also not really being a horror fan myself, I do enjoy the post-apocalyptic genre. Book of Eli is one of my favorite movies. Mad Max series is really incredible. Yeah.
Okay.
What?
No, I was surprised. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, no, Book of Eli is a phenomenal film. Just absolutely an amazing tale that you know, preaches from the... not preaches, but shares from the Christian perspective without being preachy. It's just a really cool film. Yeah, it's not my first choice, but it's also, like I said, it's the world itself, it's the characters. Honestly, even just watching Walter Goggins' performance as the Ghoul is fun in of itself. But Lucy is fun to watch. Maximus, all these characters are just... the first season is so amazing. Such a gem in of a show.
And it's been put together well, too. Right? Like...
yeah.
They clearly were respectful. They clearly understood the assignment. And they've done it... they kept the humor of the games. Because, like, there's a lot of, like, dark gallows humor in the Fallout games. And the interesting part, I think, about the Fallout games that not a lot of people realize is, yes, there are certain plot beats that have to hit, but this is a game where it really feels like everybody has their own unique story on how they hit it.
Yeah.
Dahlia Lightwood
says, Book of Eli was decent, man, but once you've seen it once. Okay, so, Fallout is basically Book of Eli with more color. Certain scenes have cleaner areas because of, well, the vaults being places of cleanliness and, you know, normal society. So it's got a lot of different humor, but it also has a bunch of conspiracy all wrapped around it that just unravels. And
there's also a cool retro futuristic vibe going on.
Yeah, I love it all. It's awesome. And yeah, absolutely worth watching. Yeah, Pollo Zapato says the Enclave intro discretion felt so exciting. Makes me so excited for season 3. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like the Enclave, like, this is... every Fallout game builds to potential interactions with the Enclave. And, dude, the Enclave is such an interestingly dark group, or cabal, if you will, that I can't wait to see what they do with it. They are my favorite group to go beat on.
Yeah.
So.
Poyo says the time jumps make sense and never feel like filler. Yes, exactly. I was a little worried when we saw Barb's name flash on the screen that we were going to pull a Monarch and, you know, go back in time and find our feelings in the show again. And instead, we got backstory that made sense that then went back to following these characters. And so, yes, the way that the story drip feeds and jumps around, it doesn't get super confusing. It keeps you, you know, where you need to be in the story. And it all actually makes sense of when and where they start going into people's backstories. It doesn't feel ham-fisted. It doesn't feel out of place. Dahlia Lightwood says, yeah, I like retrofuturism. Well, then stay tuned, because when we get ready to rebrand starting year 5, our look on this channel might be a little bit more classified. No, not secret. Classification. I was going with something with that, and I just didn't come out right. We're going to be, you know, beautifying the channel a little bit.
We're going to have some fun with it a little bit.
We're going to have a little bit of, I guess you could say, that retro futurism with a little bit of Noir 20s mixed in with a little bit of, you'll just see what we come up with once it's out. But yeah, it's just going to lively up the place. Maybe get some of the bleak...
At least 10% more classy.
Yes. Absolutely. Yeah.
Like, I'm going to have to start wearing either a top hat or a monocle. Maybe not both, but at least one of them.
Yeah. Shout out to, of course, Dahlia Lightwood, Griffin DBK, John 005. We appreciate you all showing up in the chat. We appreciate everybody's support. Poyo Zapato says, backstory that doesn't skip to how it all ended, like every time we switch from I'm more interested in the past than the current. Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And thank you to you, Poyo Zapatos, for being a panelist as well as a commenter. Proto Badger, good to see you. And Ranger Sentai Ranger Sentai Donnie, Stephanie Janizek, Smuggler's Den Cantina. We all appreciate you guys. Yeah. Sentai Ranger Donnie says, go Seahawks. Hey.
Where are they going exactly?
The Superb Owl.
Ah, yes.
Yes, it's that time once again for the Seahawks to go to the Super Bowl. Again. But hey, you know what? They fought through the playoffs.
Listen, it could be worse. It could be the Chiefs going to the Super Bowl again.
Oh, God, yeah. Man, the Chiefs-Patriots game. Talk about a boring Super Bowl. Nobody gave a shit.
That's it, man.
So, yeah. Please join us next week. Next week we might actually be off, but we'll see. We might have some gaming. We are going to be doing our Star Wars Revival special. So that might actually be what's happening next week. It just might not be on Tuesday. It might be on Wednesday or Thursday, depending on how things wrap up. But yeah, please join us for that. And of course, don't forget to comment on the channel with your favorite Star Wars memories and movies, and maybe we will try to get to them.
Yeah.
When we can. But yes, always good to chat with you guys. We do love coming and hanging out with you. Please send us your complaints or suggestions, thewriterbrothers@gmail.com. I'm Petey York. He's Corione. We'll see you when we see you. Have a great rest of your week.
Take care, everybody.
This has been the Entertainment Information Intelligence Podcast from the Writer Brothers. The Writer Brothers, restoring respect in a discourse. Good night.